They got
Welcome,
you muted.
Rotarians and guests to the Rochester March 30th Rotary meeting. My name is Ron Lichtel. I serve as your club president. Would you all please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please join me in the four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will be beneficial to all concerned. Mr. David Erdley.
Thank you, Ron. We'll take a moment, join in our invocation that comes from Phil Morris from the Rotary Club of High Point, North Carolina. It is good to recognize how different we are, our talents, our dreams, our backgrounds, our occupations. And it is good to know that when you created each of us, you broke the mold. No one is exactly like anyone else. Even our thumbprint and our voice track tell us how unique we are. Yet we thank you that we can take these differences and mobilize them for good of Rotary and our community. In our differences, we can think the same thoughts and move together toward a common goal. Bless us as we meet together. Thank you for our individuality and also for our common bond. Amen.
Thank you, David. 15th sign in today was Ernie Schaefer, so you don't have to pay any fines today, Ernie. Jeff Whitby.
Thank you, President Rentz. Good afternoon. Welcome to the greatest club on earth. We just have one guest online today, Linda Ludley from the Troy Club, Assistant District Governor. Welcome everybody to Rotary.
Do we have any happy bucks today? All right, Stu.
I'm happy those Wolverines are playing the Elite Eight tonight, baby. Looking to hopefully get to the Final Four again and again. Yeah, state. Yeah, both states, whatever.
So blue. Ohio's not even in the running.
I'm happy to announce that our little effort over the past month to raise some money for the foundation has been, I think, very successful. During the month, we had 4 people sign up for Paul Harris Award. So
cool.
Congratulations to those people and the club.
Thanks, Ernie. Any other happy bucks? Mary Lee.
This is a little embarrassing, but it's a true story. 50 years ago, I took my newborn son through the car wash, the Townie car wash on Woodward down across from Hallback Field. Well, I was going through the car wash, the track stopped and I was stuck in the car wash. February. I grabbed that baby and walked out through the brushes with the water still coming down and scared to death. I haven't been in the car wash for 50 years, but last week I did go through and I forced myself to, and I just got in line and I was going in before I even knew it and nothing happened. It was wonderful. So my kids sent me a medal for overcoming my fears of car washing.
Thank you. Oh. We have one online that wants to do a happy buck. Jason?
I'm happy to have learned the Gonzaga fight song.
Go Zags.
The Gonzaga fight song. All right. Moving on. Member birthdays. Marty McClure, April 3rd, and John Gaber, April 5th. So let's sing happy birthday to our fellow Rotarians. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rotarians. Happy birthday to you. Please. Is this a new member walking in? He's masked. Club anniversaries. Phil Lohman, 23 years, and Timo, 23 years. It looked like they came in almost the same date. Ernie doesn't have anything really to say to us today, I don't think. You already said it. Other than that, don't forget Rotary Park garage sale coming up May 1st. If you have any items you want to donate that we can sell, make sure to bring them next week. We're going to have a, where is it, Bill?
Storage over on Avon.
A storage over on Avon Road by Rochester Road. If Tim Crawford is listening either online or whatever, I talked to Lars Norberg. He will take over the Masters. So I thought that was great. Wow. It was supposed to be Steve Shettenham today, but I think it's Peter is our sheriff. So let's give a hand for our sheriff. All right, Peter. Stand over here so they can see you.
Okay, good afternoon. This was a little bit of a surprise for me. Hey, Roger, are you ready? You ready yet? No, that's good. That's all right. So I'm a little disorganized. U of M tonight, 10 p.m. And you know, there's not a lot to talk about today. There's not a lot in the news, but in terms of U of M versus UCLA, if anybody has anything on their body, underwear, rings, socks, that has a little gold M, you're absolved from fines. Is that anybody? Zero. There we go. There we go. All right, we're good. Anybody online? Oh, a little bit of housekeeping first. Phil Lohman, $5. Last week you skipped. I know you're up there. You're down there. So I looked at the news. I was going to bring up some current events. You know how I like to keep things current. And the news is really depressing these days. We're talking about Ghislaine Maxwell. This is the anniversary of when Reagan was shot. None of this is funny. There's a boat stuck in the Suez Canal. There's nothing any good on the news. So we're going to move this one into trivia. And now I don't even have John Gaber online, but we're going to do trivia. This is an online trivia plus live. Anybody that gets the right answer does not pay. Everybody else pays $5. First of all, online, you have to produce the answer onto your chat, under your chat. So you're going to get multiple choice. What year was March made the third month versus the first month of the calendar? Was it 450 AD, 0, 450 BC, or 800 BC? Everybody online has to go first, and we have to choose a candidate to pick in this crowd. And John Gaber's not here, so we need the second smartest man in the room. I'm going to go with Russ Shelton. Russ, are we 450 AD, 450 BC, 0, or 800 when March was made the third month? You're going to make everybody pay. At least give them a 25% chance. There we go. He gets no answer. Everybody online, anybody that answered 450 BC, You had the correct answer. Everybody else, that's $5. All right. I think Rush should have to pay all the fines for not answering. Big day Thursday, opening day for the Tigers. Anybody going to the Tigers game? Okay, that's $2 each. I was gonna give you, anybody gonna watch it on TV? You raise your hand. Okay, everybody else, that's another $2. You should have some spirit for your city. Final trivia. Final piece of trivia. Tiger trivia. 22-year-old Akil Badu had a spring batting average of 198, 310, 314, or 351. We got to go with somebody else. Online, you have to choose now. 198, 310, 314, 351. Who am I gonna allow to choose on this one? Ernie Schaefer.
351.
Incorrect. Everybody in this room, that's $5, and everybody online. He had a 314 batting average. How could you people not know that about your city? All right, if you didn't pay anything, pay $5. Thank you. Have a great afternoon. I'm done.
Mr. Tom Nouveau. We're gonna have a little bit of fun. We're starting off the Rotary Park garage sale now. We're gonna auction off a couple things. Why don't you start with the small things, work up to the big one. Okay. Did you want to do that? No. Okay.
All right. We have a camera here that we can start showing some of this stuff around so the people online can bid on this. First item we're going to bid on is this Waterford Crystal. This has been on Mary Lee's tables for at least 175 years. Burn many candles in it, and we're looking for an opening bid. Rhonda Little, didn't look good on your table.
No, I don't bring that stuff. I don't have the authority. I can declare war on China, but I can't buy things for the household.
Gosh, you need a therapist.
Come on, Archibald.
Crystal,
Waterford.
come on, we got a
Crystal.
minimum bid. Anybody?
How about online? Do we have anybody?
You're afraid.
Anybody bidding?
$5.
Huh?
$5.
$12.
We got $12.
Why?
Because I'm bringing junk home.
It's not junk.
That's her job.
You know, Mary Lee could come with you home, Dave.
We got $12.
Once, twice,
That's fine.
good, sold.
Sold.
Okay, the next item. This is gonna be a cookie jar,
This is.
okay? Nothing inside. If you can take a look at it. Oh,
No,
okay.
it's a
Fitz and Floyd. And it's a nice bunny with Easter coming up this weekend. And Mary Lee said she'll put the first dozen cookies in there for you for the winning bid.
I think I said that.
We didn't say that? How about you, Stu?
Can you?
That'll look nice in your house here. Come on.
Something happened to the Zoom meeting.
Sorry.
Okay, gotta hold it up.
There you go.
Can we see it real good here?
I bid 20.
We got $20
We
bid.
got $20.
Take it.
Take it. Once,
20 bucks, 20 bucks. Do I hear
Nice.
21?
gone.
Great. And I have.
That was Christine Haig, right?
Right.
Christine Haig got it.
Christine Haig's lucky. Okay, now we got an antique here. This was back when Mary Lee was first starting out. She had this in front of the house and she was selling lemonade. So this is her auctioneer box. Inside, there's 3 pennies in here. They're all guaranteed to be lucky. You can put them in your shoe.
What?
And she's dying to get rid of this out of her house. So We'll have a bid of $5.
Paint it black and use it as a wood box by your fireplace or whatever.
Come on, Archibald.
Looks like a podium.
Anybody online? Mary Lee doesn't want to take this back home.
Well, sale.
Anybody bidding on this?
Okay, no bid.
No bids, we'll move on. to-
We'll put it in the garage sale.
Okay, who's gonna talk about this?
Oh.
I will. Okay, Bill, come on up, Bill. Come on up and talk about this item.
So.
There.
This was actually donated by Christine Hay. And I was talking to Russ. I said, if you had a car that somebody bought from you and it put it in your garage, put it in their garage and never drove it, and doesn't have a scratch on it, and now they want to sell it, what would you think? Christine, 10 years ago, spent $500 on this bike.
No, my husband did. My husband did.
Her husband spent $500.
She spent,
Her husband spent $500.
yeah, well, I'm gonna say
I
it
heard of
was
both of
owned by a little old man. Sorry, Christine. Owned by a little old man who never rode it. It's in mint condition. I went out to clean it up this morning and it wasn't very much to clean up.
Well, that was 10 years ago. What would it be today?
Yeah, what is it today? I don't know.
Probably around $800.
Inflation.
Yeah, it's probably about 2,000 now. I got it it's 2,000, but if anybody is interested, this is a gem. And I encourage you to
Opening bid.
opening bid. I don't know, I'm gonna say $150. So
Opening bid will be 150. Good.
I'll bet 150 on it.
You go what?
I'll do 150.
I did 100.
Oh, I'll do 175.
I'm gonna do 250.
Oh, I can't do that.
Whoa, Bill wants that point.
I'm gonna do 300.
Cool.
I'm doing 300. So anybody who wants it, you gotta go above 300.
Is the bid right now.
Is there anybody online?
Anybody online want to bid against it?
They just went offline.
Oh, I can see. Nobody right now.
I
That's
got
just
300 going once. 300 going twice. This is an $800 bike. Sold. Thank you, Bill. That's going to help our park.
Rotary of the Week, Mr. Ethan Hoffman. You want to let us know who you're going to give this great thing to?
Steve, for helping me out with the golf out.
All right. Well deserved. All right, David Early, you want to introduce our guest today? Our guest, our speaker.
Yes. Thank you, Ron. Let me introduce Ron Megan. Ron has been a Friends of the Rochester Hills Public Library Board member since 2011. Became vice president in 2012 and president in 2014. In addition to his Friends board duties, Ron is also an active volunteer for book sales, other Friends fundraisers, and works as a library Melcat volunteer when COVID isn't around. Outside the library, Ron volunteers at the Rochester Hills Museum at Van Hoosen Farm, doing photo archiving, and is the membership chairperson for CORE, the Community Organization Resource Exchange. On a statewide basis, Ron is the chairman of the board of Michigan Christian Campus Ministries, an organization that supports campus ministries at 12 universities within the state of Michigan. Ron and his wife Teresa have been married for 48 years and have lived in Rochester Hills since 1978. They have been longtime members of the Meadowbrook Christian Church in Rochester Hills. Ron worked for General Motors Powertrain as an assistant chief engineer for engine design and retired in 2008 with 44 years of service. His last project at GM was designing the LS9 engine for the ZR1 Corvette. Ron likes history, and he and Teresa both enjoy reading, entertaining, and travel. So we welcome Ron Megan to our Rotary Club today.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. Okay, well, thank you for allowing me to come in. A little different topic than I did a couple months ago when I talked about the LS9, but still important to me. I usually like to start off these presentations getting a feel for my audience. So I ask a few questions like how many people have a library card at the Rochester Library? How many people are members of the Friends of the Rochester Hills Public Library? And oftentimes I'll get the comment that, well, I have a library card, so I'm a friend, right? Well, not necessarily, because the Friends is actually a separate organization, and we are looking to have people sign up for memberships. We have various categories, and then the money that we make on those memberships all goes back to the library. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later. The other things I like to ask is how many people have attended any of the Friends functions, like our used book sales, our Wine, Wit, and Wisdom event, holiday home tour, or have attended any of the programs or concerts that go on at the library. And I'll talk a little bit more later about why that's important. Today's agenda, I'm going to give a little bit of the history of the library and some statistics. I know Julianne and Christine have probably shared some of this stuff with you in the past, but I just want to go back to the basics to start. I'll talk about Friends history, and then I want to talk about how the Friends operated pre-COVID, how we've been operating during COVID, and then what we expect for the future. And then also, I'm going to share a little bit about our 60th anniversary, which is actually this year. A lot of details on this, but basically the first library in Rochester started in 1872. It was called the Rochester Literary Society, had a couple of iterations over the years, and then became the Avon Ladies Library Association. And back in 1924, the Rochester Women's Club recognized that we needed to have an actual space for a public library. And they were able to obtain a millage of 1 mil back in 1924. And then in 1925, the Avon Township Free Public Library opened in the Rochester National Bank building. A number of years later, in 1929, they moved to a residence at 210 West University. And then in 1951, that residence was torn down and a new library building was constructed at that address. The building was a gift from Eva Woodward Parker, and it's now where Updog Yoga operates. In 1984, Avon Township became the city of Rochester Hills, and the library changed its name. And then we moved into the current building at 500 Old Town Road, opening in 1992. You see our logo down in the bottom right. That's a Camperdown elm. And you see the tree actually planted in front of our current library. In honor of this new library, the Women's National Farm and Garden Association purchased a Camperdown elm tree and planted it in front of the building. There was one in front of 210 University, but it was deemed not the right thing to do for the plant to try to transplant it. So that's why they planted a new one. So we like to use that as our logo. It has been for a number of years. So Rochester Hills Public Library, located in Rochester. It serves Rochester Hills, and then also Rochester and Oakland Township by contract. And all three communities contribute to the library support through their taxes at the same millage rate since that initial one back in 1924, but rolled back by the Headley Amendment in 1978. And you'll remember that a year or so ago, we were thinking about going for a a millage increase, and that got put on hold and still being talked about. So some of the statistics, I took a look back in 2019, the population of Rochester, Rochester Hills, and Oakland Township was 106,915. And in 2020, we had 61,000 library card holders. So 58% of the population has a library card. In 2020, we had 167,000 annual visitors and a total circulation of media, books, CDs, DVDs, whatever, of 1,250,000 items. Now let's talk a little bit about the Friends. We were incorporated in 1961 as a 501c3. It started off as the Friends of the Woodward Memorial Public Library, again, named after that same Ava Woodward Parker who donated the money to build that first building. Our purposes back then, and still are part of our Constitution today, is to establish a closer relationship between the library and its constituents, promote knowledge of and interest in the library's functions, resources, services, and needs, encourage community participation in library activities. And this is one of our big ones because we have a bunch of volunteers that get involved in helping to support various activities at the library. And then the really big one is to raise funds, and that's really our main purpose for existing, is to raise funds for the library. And then provide any support for programs that we can to improve library services and resources. Obviously, as the names changed, the Friends became the Friends of the Avon Township Public Library, and then the Friends of the Rochester Hills Public Library. Now, how did we operate before COVID occurred? And I want to share this because later on, I'm going to compare our financial results. I said that our biggest thing was to earn money for the library, and I want to share what COVID has done to us. So prior to COVID, we had about 900 members, which sounds like a lot, but it's really only 1.5% of our library card holders. So one of our goals has been to try to increase that amount. And I don't know how many are on the call today, but hopefully I'll be able to get some people at the end of this to sign up to become a Friends member. We'll see what happens here. We have 300 to 350 volunteers at various times that are involved in things that we try to do. We have 9 board members. They each serve 3-year terms. We have the typical set of officers plus 4 at-large members. And then we have 6 what we call ex officio members that we ask to attend most meetings. The library director, the chairs of our book sales, our membership, our newsletter, the library store, and the lobby cart. We'll talk more about those here in a minute. And then normally the library director attends all our board meetings as long as she's able. We have 10 meetings per year. We review the normal things that you would have at a typical business meeting. And then we would have status reports once a year from the various departments. We would ask people to share what happened in the last year, what are you thinking about in the upcoming year, any way the board can help you, those kind of things. We also hold an annual business meeting that's open to all the Friends in October. We share minutes from the prior year. We have reports from the president and the treasurer. We affirm the new or returning board members. We announce a volunteer of the year. Every year we try to determine someone who's gone over and above normal duties and try to recognize them as a volunteer. We try to keep it a secret, and sometimes it's difficult to get them to come to the meeting. So we have to, use ways to get them to come, and hopefully they don't figure out why. And then we'll usually have a special speaker after the business meeting. Obviously other meetings along the way, and prepare 2 Friends newsletters in the spring and the fall each year and mail them out to Friends members. So fundraisers, our reason for being. Prior to COVID, we had 4 large book sales per year, winter, spring, summer, and fall. They started on Wednesday evening for members only. And then Thursday through Sunday, the public was invited. And then on Sunday was actually our bag day, where we would have a bunch of Kroger shopping bags and anything you could fit in a bag for $5. It's kind of a zoo attending that particular day, because you'd have a big lineup and people would just rush in to try to get the first, how many DVDs can they fit in a bag? How many of their favorite author can they fit in the bag? Those kind of things. We also would do smaller sales as needed for just before Christmas. We would do a quality book sale. We get donations from people that are still in wrappers, brand new, and the kind of things you'd like to put on your coffee table or give as gifts. And so we would have that sale. It was usually very successful. We'd have 1 or 2 day member only sales throughout the year to help control our inventory. And then one of our big fundraisers was our online book sales. We have a scanner that we scan every item that's donated to us, and it tells us how much it's worth. If it's worth $10 or more, we would send it up to our online book sale people, and they would research it, figure out if it was something that they could put online rather than trying to sell in our sale. We have sold items that were several $100s. Like, I think the biggest one I can remember was somewhere around $750 that someone had donated, and we figured out what it was worth and were able to sell it online. If they don't move online on Amazon after 6 months, we bring them back and we put them in the regular book sale. We had 2 lobby carts that were in the library lobby every day from 11 to 3, 1:30 to 5:30 on Sundays. And these carts have some of our more recent books and other media that are in very good condition. Fiction had to be less than 5 years old, nonfiction less than 10 years. And where we sold books for $1 in the book sale, on the book cart, we sell the hardcovers for $3, softcover for $2, and other media as marked. And we had volunteers that would come in and spend a 2-hour shift selling those items to the public as they walk through. And then also little free lending libraries. We started doing this about 2 years ago, where we have a couple of our volunteers that built these little libraries. We would sell them for $325. They were ready to be painted or decorated. So they came, with the post and the box, the roof on them. All they had to do was decorate them they wanted and plant them in the ground. And then we would also provide a starter kit of books that could go into those lending libraries as they were put around the community. And I think everybody knows that the whole premise there is, take a book, leave a book. So that was the whole intent. If you see something you like, take it, but then bring back another one to replace it so that somebody else gets a chance to use that. Some of our other fundraisers, we have a store in the lobby of the library where we have a large selection of products, and it was typically open from 4 to 6 hours a day. A lot of things for home, a lot of things, personal items that people could purchase, greeting cards, things like that. Every spring, we had a Wine, Wit, and Wisdom event. 6 speakers were solicited to give a 40-minute talk. Each guest got to select 2 of the speakers to listen to. And then the event included a strolling dinner with wine and beer. We actually transformed the circulation desk into our bar. And so we had, it's quite an event, included a silent auction. In the winter, we did our holiday home tour where we would have 5 or 6 homes where the homeowners would agree to decorate their homes early and allow 500 of their closest friends to come tour their homes one Sunday afternoon in December. And we would usually include a boutique at a location to sell some holiday things and small notions and so forth. And then we'd have free cider and donuts that we would give to the people that would stop by. I talked about membership. Membership dues was an important part of our income. And we also get donations from people during the year that apply to the Friends. Again, since we're a 501c3, that's tax deductible, but all the money goes to support the library. Other fundraisers that we would do, this would vary year by year. We've had cooking classes. We've done tours of various locations. You can see some of them there that I've listed. We did a mystery dinner at the library one time. Every year we would close our parking lot on the Sunday for Art and Apples, and we would charge $5 for people to park there. And again, that money all went to support the library and a bunch of other things that went on year by year. So what did that do for us? Well, our 2019 income was $208,000. And you can see that about half of that was our used book sales. The online book sales and the lobby book cart was another 25%. Our Wine, Wit, and Wisdom brought in $15,000. The Holiday Home Tour, $8,000. Friends Library Store was able to give us $18,000. And then membership, donations, some of those other fundraisers I mentioned, $17,000. That allowed us over the years to donate a significant amount of money to the library. You can see 2017, $150, 2018, $190, and 2019, $185,000. Now I want to tell you that the way we determine the amount is in May. So May of 2021, we will be determining what we will be giving the library in 2022. So the amount that we've determined for this year has already been a plan. That gives you a flavor for how we would do that. So the money that we donate is based on funds that we've obtained in years past. What have we been able to purchase with some of those donations? Well, as I mentioned at the beginning, you know, all those speakers and concerts and youth programs that go on at the library, most of those are funded by the donations that the library, that the Friends give to the library. We helped to purchase the very first adult bookmobile. The aquarium that's in the lobby was purchased by the Friends. One of the electric carts that we use for physically impaired folks. Those little black shopping carts that you can use to load up your books and other media as you're going through the library. Those were donated by the Friends. Chairs and tables for the multi-purpose room. The computers that are upstairs for community use. And we were also able to donate a significant amount of money to finish off the second floor book room that the Friends now use for their book sales. And many other items that I'm not mentioning here. So obviously, March of last year, COVID came along and things changed. The library was in what I call lockdown. Basically, it was not open for customers to enter from mid-March through June of last year, and then again in mid-November through the end of the year. During those times when the library wasn't open, you could only use the drive-up window to get your items. So pre-COVID, that's a list of the things that we were doing that I've just described. After COVID, instead of our large book sales, we're just doing book sales by appointment only allowing 10 customers in the room, 2 evenings a week. Library store, which was open for anybody to walk into before, is now open for by appointment only. And it will be, I'll talk about that a little bit later. We're going to make some changes here coming up in April, but only one customer allowed in the store at a time. Where we used to have the lobby cart open for a certain period of time, now it's open all day, but there are no volunteers to help sell the stuff. It's only, it's a self-serve honor system for payment. We were doing online sales every day before. We're still doing them. We had no Wine, Wit, and Wisdom in 2020. We had no Holiday Home Tour in 2020, and we weren't able to conduct our normal spring tour. Where we were doing everything in person before, obviously we were doing things by Zoom and continue to do that. And we continue to get membership renewals. We continue to get donations, but you can see what happened to our membership. We went from 900 prior to COVID to down to 730 right now. And part of the reason for that is that we aren't having those large book sales. And we would usually get a flood of people coming in the week prior to our book sales because they could come in on Wednesday night, which was a friends only time, and they could get the first crack at any of the books that were on the shelves. So that was a significant enabler for our keeping our membership up. So what did that do to us financially? Our 2020 income, less than half of what we were able to bring in 2019. And you can see the big hit we took in our used book sales. Online book sales were still going on, so we didn't get hit quite as much there. Although that's partly driven by the kind of donations we get. And since we weren't able to take donations for a long period of time, it was very difficult to get the books that we needed to list online to get the sales going. Our lobby book cart was down, partly because it wasn't out there for half the year, but the other part is it took us a while to get going with the self-serve payment system. We didn't have a Wine, Wit, and Wisdom, but we were able to make some money on it because in March of last year, when the library shut down and we realized that we weren't going to be able to hold the event, we'd already had about 200 people that had purchased tickets. So we asked them, would you prefer a refund of your ticket price, or would you like to donate to the library? And about 60% of the people did donate back to the library. So that's where that $2,600 came from. We didn't get anything from the holiday home tour since it was canceled, and the Friends Library store really didn't sell much. So there was nothing that they could really provide for us. We still did continue some memberships, as you noticed, and donations. So we were able to bring in a significant amount of money there. So in 2020, we donated $170,000 to the library. Well, like I told you, that money was money that had been in our bank account and had been earmarked from the year before for the library. When May comes and we figure out what we can give this year and next year, we expect that to be significantly down as a result of what's happened to us this past year. What does our future hold? For the near term, we plan on continuing our book sales by appointment. We are adding some Saturday sales. We've got one coming up on April 10th. So instead of 3 sessions a night, we'll have 8 sessions that day, and we're going to make them 45 minutes long instead of a half hour. Still only 10 people in the room at a time, but we hope that'll bring in some funds. And we're also trying to take advantage of your sale at the Rotary Park in May, and we'll probably try to do another Saturday sale that day so that people that are coming to your sale might come to ours and vice versa. So hopefully we can help each other out that way. We're continuing with our self-serve lobby book cart, and I will say that since we've got that perfected, it's really doing very well, partly because it's out there all the time instead of just those 4 hours in the middle of the day. During the past, we'd found that those 4 hours were the most lucrative for us, but there's still money that comes in early in the morning and money that comes in later in the day that seems to be working well as we've had this as a self-serve. We plan on opening the Friends store for regular operation starting next week, actually, and we'll be limiting the number of shoppers there. We'll be continuing on our online sales, our membership renewals. We'll continue to sell the little free libraries. We do have on our calendar in November a Wine, Wit, and Wisdom date. We also have a holiday home tour date scheduled in December, and time will tell if vaccines and so forth will help us to bring those off as scheduled, and hopefully with the same success that we've been able to do in the past. And we hope that eventually we can resume our large quarterly book sales, because you can see the significant impact that just doing them by appointment only has made to the financials. As I mentioned, we were incorporated in 1961, so this is our 60th anniversary. last fall, we started some brainstorming to see what kind of ideas we could come up with to fundraise and help celebrate. And the one that we kicked off the year with was our 60/40 raffle. We sold tickets for $100 a ticket. We sent letters out to all the friends in December and then publicized to the rest of the community in January. We had the raffle drawing this past Saturday on March 20th. Well, Saturday a week ago. We had Mayors Barnett and Bixson and Supervisor Abadi from Oakland Township were there to help select the winner. We did have the event on Facebook Live. We did sell 235 tickets, or 23,500 was collected. The library share was 14,100 and the winner share was $9,400. So that was pretty exciting for Judy Garrett. We were actually able to call her and get her on speakerphone down in Florida. Mayor Barnett gave her a call. Started off the call by saying, "Hi, Judy, this is Mayor Barnett. I'm just wondering how your roads are doing." And then eventually got around to telling her that she was the winner. And we do have other celebration plans in the works as we go forward. Any questions? Okay. Well, I would be remiss to not do a bigger plug for a membership in the Friends of the Rochester Hills Public Library. So I'm going to send a membership application to Tim, along with a list of potential volunteer opportunities that we have, and hopefully he can pass it out to the Rotary. And if you guys are wanting to join us, if you haven't already, as a friend, we'd sure like to have you be a part of our operation.
Thank you, Ron. We had 3 Rons at our meeting today.
Speaking of Ron DeLittle, you had something pretty exciting happen today.
I'm absolutely thrilled. When Vince opened the mail from this week, there's a check in here from Fort Hines as a donation to the charity for $5,000. Oh my God. How about that?
Awesome.
Yay.
Go to Fort Hines, buy something.
Yeah.
Walk in the back, find Heather, who's the manager of the Rochester Hills, Rochester Road Store, and say thanks for the donation. That's awesome. Thank you.
So the $5,000 was from Bordines?
Yes, $5,000 from Bordines. Just
Very nice.
anonymously came in. That was awesome. Any other questions, comments before we close out?